Hey everyone, my name is Jin. Hope you guys doing well. Today I'm gonna share with you my recent experience traveling to US Virgin Islands. I know I created this channel to talk about financial education, investing, and I promise I'm not gonna become a travel vlogger. There's a lot more sophisticated people that will do better job than I will. We'll stick to numbers, and today I'm gonna give you my full breakdown and tell you what it cost me to go to ESVI, along with some helpful tips. So right away, tip number one: please allow yourself 6-7 weeks prior to prior to booking your place. We book our place 4 weeks prior to our flight. At that time, we've only had few options that would match us with Airbnb and a few more options with VRBO, but we've been lucky enough to find our place. Tip number two: 1 week prior to your flight, check USVI travel portal, and I will leave a link down below. You need to check it for rules and regulations. At the time we've been flying, which was end of March, beginning of April, the rule was that you need to do PCR or rapid test, or if you have antibody, they'll work as well, 5 days prior to a flight, and then within 24 to 48 hours you need to upload your negative test with USVI travel portal. Once you update your negative test at the travel portal, you will receive a orange QR code stating that your application has been submitted, and then within the next 24 hours you'll receive green QR code, which pretty much be a green light to travel to USVI. Another helpful tip that I have for you is, despite the fact that US Virgin Islands is an all year long destination and the temperatures averaging from 77 to 83 Fahrenheit, consider that from August to the end of October it is a peak storm season, so you need to account for that as well. Another helpful tip that I have for you is to rent a vehicle. I could not stress this enough. I think it is a must. There is no Uber on the islands. There is some taxis, but I'm pretty sure it is expensive, and it would add up and be as expensive as renting a vehicle. Islands are mountainous. There is a lot of steep, narrow roads. So please rent either 4-wheel drive or SUV vehicle. Don't make a mistake and rent those minivans or sedans. Also, please make sure you are a confident driver, or you have one with you, since it's the only United States territory that has a left side driving. But I think renting a vehicle is also nice because you have a privilege of exploring the island on your own terms. Islands itself are not as big. The St. Thomas is like 2 sizes of Washington DC, so it probably take you a few days to explore the whole island. A cost of our vehicle was $540 plus we spent $30 on gas. Because I've been splitting it with my friends, my cost was $95. And the last tip that I want to give you is bring your sunscreen with you. On the island you can buy mineral sunscreen only, because regular one is detrimental to coral reef system. So you can buy it, but it would be like twice as expensive as the one that you would buy it at home. My airfare was $492. I did not have a privilege of having a direct flight. I was flying from Cincinnati, Ohio, so it was Cincinnati to New Jersey, and then 3.5 flight New Jersey to St. Thomas, Cyril E. King Airport. First thing that I've noticed, of course, was the left side driving, and the next one is that islands are not cheap. For me, it was pretty expensive. Once we walked in the grocery store, I could tell the difference in prices. At least with where I live. I'd say if you live in like big city like New York or LA, it would be about the same. We've checked in at our house, which was on the eastern part of the island, not like few minutes away from the Red Hook, which is a fun place. And by the way, that's where we took our ferry to San Juan next day. But I'll tell you more about that in just a second. So our accommodation was 2,581, and once again, because I split it with 5 other guys, my cost was $430. And then let's get back to San Juan. Next day, on the second day of our arrival, we went to San Juan. There is a few ways that you can get there. You can get regular ferry or car ferry. We took car ferry, which cost us around $50 round trip. So you do not really need to book it because it is first come first serve. And then once you get there, that barge would not take off until they would actually fill all the vehicles. So the chances are, if you get there first, you would still be waiting for the other vehicles to fill up that barge. Also, make sure that you ask time of the last barge. For us, it was 5 p.m. Make sure you get there on time, because if you would miss your last barge, you would stuck on the island. Once in St. John, you'll arrive at the cruise bay. It's kind of like a main town, and there is some shops and restaurants. We visited. There's like kind of like outside mall area, and then we went to Trunk Bay beach. If you want to go to Trunk Bay, please try to get there before, I would say like 11 a.m. because it would be hard to find a parking spot. I fell in love with San Juan. 2/3 of the island is national parks, and Trunk Bay is also was phenomenal. I liked that. And then after we visited Trunk Bay, we went to Cinnamon Bay Beach, which I liked even more than that. I felt like it was like more secluded. It was less people than in Trunk Bay. Then we went back to catch our barge, and then at the evening of the second day, we went to. Once we arrived at the Red Hook, we decided to go to a restaurant. So, little advice: if you want to go to a restaurant, first of all, it was a little hard to find a parking spot, and then we had to wait about 45-50 minutes to get in, to get seated. So, and it is pretty common in the island. If you want to go to a restaurant, please call ahead and make a reservation, because there is like half an hour to hour and a half wait. Our last few days we spent exploring St. Thomas. We went to Secret Harbor Beach. They do have restaurants on the side. Also, I did like Linquid Beach. Linquid Beach. I've been able to walk from my house. It was just like 2-3 minute walk from me. Snorkeling was fun. We've seen some turtles and sharks. On our last day, when we went back to airport, we visited a place called Mountain Top, which is supposed to be highest point at St. Thomas. They have a souvenir shop on the side, as well as a bar and the best view of the Megan's Bay. When you go to airport, please be there like 2.5-3 hours prior to your flight, as it is advised, because it is a small airport and looks like they tend to book all of the flights at the same time. So at the time you get there, it might be a little congested. Some other interesting facts about the islands. US Virgin Islands is the only US territory that have coast on both Atlantic and Ocean and Caribbean Sea. So when you're there, you may as well like put your toe on both of these. Also, on the islands, they don't do daylight saving time change. All year long, they have Atlantic Standard Time. To summarize my trip, I've spent $492 on air ticket, $125 for my rapid test, $95 for car rental, along with $430 for my accommodation, and $366 for food. That includes restaurants and groceries, and $50 for my car parking at my home airport. That brings us to a total of $1,525. Out of 5 stars, I would give US Virgin Islands 4.5 stars. I've deducted half of a star because I think it was a little too expensive, considering I was splitting my cost of living and my car rental with my friends. That was pretty much it. If you like this video, please hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, leave the comment down below, and I'll see you next time.